Chamber Connections is brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites of Dublin. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inn and Suites. And now, Chamber Connections with host Pilar Archila.
Hello everybody, I'm Pilar Archila with Pure Gold, and I'm here with Ben Gay from Gayco Healthcare. He's the CEO, and this is the very first time I have a chance to sit with you and talk with you. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I love to meet new people, and I'm not saying I just met him. We have met before. Actually, we have a show that we did a few months ago together.
That's correct. It was at the Chamber. We also sat and talked about the Now account at that time. Right.
That's right.
And then don't forget, we saw each other in Atlanta at the restaurant.
Let's not forget that. That's right. I would love to know a lot more about you. And let's start with, are you from Dublin?
I've lived in Dublin since I was 5. So that's 45 years, so I guess that would make me a Dublinite at that time. But I actually was born in Millen, Georgia.
Oh, Millen. I go there for court.
You do?
Yes.
Small town.
It's
small
very
town.
Small.
Then I actually lived the first 9 months of my life in Garfield, Georgia. Have you driven through Garfield?
I have.
Garfield.
Yes.
And I lived with my grandparents while my father was working, my mother was finishing up school. So for 9 months I was in the big city of Garfield. And then lived in Augusta until I was 5 and moved here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to Augusta tomorrow.
It's grown quite a lot since the last time I was there.
I have federal court tomorrow in Augusta.
Oh, that will be fun. Watch out for the traffic.
There you go. Yeah, Judge Bowen is very sweet and nice and patient with me.
Oh, good.
He knows how far I'm driving. So basically, you grew up here. You feel like you belong to Dublin. It's like me. I've been here longer than any place in the world, including my own country. So I feel like I'm from here too.
It's a great community.
It is a wonderful community. Tell me about your family.
I'm married to Amy Gay. She's from Moultrie, Georgia. We have 3 kids. We have my daughter Amelia, who's 16, just turned 16, so that's why I look a little scared today. She just started driving, but that's going great. I have a 14-year-old son, JB Gay, and I have a 10-year-old daughter, Carly Gay, and they all go to Trinity Christian School.
Oh, around the corner from my house.
Correct. Correct.
That is great. You are the CEO for Gayco Healthcare.
I am. Yeah.
Is this a company that you founded, or is something that? Tell me how you got into this business.
Well, after I went to pharmacy school, I then got out and I worked at Bellevue Pharmacy, which is now actually where Morris Bank sits, on a corner of Morris Bank. But it was Bellevue Pharmacy. Steve was a friend of mine that owned it at that time. And I went to work for Steve. Then I went to work at Tomlinson Pharmacy.
Yes.
Wendell and Wendy Smith now own it. And while I was at Tomlinson Pharmacy, I was about 29, and I just felt a burning desire to do something on my own. And I thought I was going to be an independent, get out and start an independent pharmacy, and I decided not to. It just was not me. And a friend of mine, Max Brown, at Max Brown Pharmacy, he's a longtime family friend. One day he was fishing in my parents' front yard in their pond, and I saw him and I stopped by and I said, Max, if you're ever thinking about selling MBP Institutional Pharmacy, which is what Gayco Healthcare was, I would be interested in buying it. He had a partner and they got together, and he called me one day and said, Bent, it's not worth anything, but I'm interested in selling it to you. And he kept trying to talk me out of buying it, but finally I did, and that was in 1993. July 1st, 1993, I bought it. And so just last month, 21 years in business, and we're still, the doors are still open. So.
Still going strong. I know it has the pharmacy part. When the healthcare part, what exactly do you do at Gayco?
Well, we are a pharmacy. And so we're really no different than any other pharmacy than
okay.
Max Brown or Tomlinson Pharmacy or CVS or Rite Aid. We are a pharmacy. But our specialty is in long-term care, which anyone who is in a nursing facility, which used to be known as a nursing home,
Yes.
or old people's home, as they used to call it. Of course, that's getting a lot younger the older I get.
That's
right. Assisted livings, personal care homes, correctional facilities. So we've got a lot of different things. And there also are a lot of more, our government now is wanting people to stay in place. They're wanting to age in place. So there's a lot of people who need long-term care services that are also at home. So we're venturing out a little bit and seeing if we can help those people.
Yeah.
So what we do is we focus on not the what I would classify as the over 65 population, and we leave the under 65 population to our friends that are just in the regular pharmacy business.
That's right. Well, that's good. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I knew of your company, but I didn't know what you're telling me today. I didn't know. I mean, I really thought that it was only taking care of the people, health care. I didn't know it was actually a pharmacy in there.
Well, not many people know about our company as far as it's just quiet. We're out there because the public does not walk in to our company, then they don't know. Of course, friends and family know about it, but in the world of long-term care, then our name gets out there pretty good.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I have heard more than the pharmacy part. So that is very nice and interesting. Where is located? Where is your...
We're on Industrial Boulevard.
Industrial Boulevard.
Yeah, 507 Industrial Boulevard. Just moved in about 3-4 years ago into a new location. You're welcome to come visit us and see us. And we have been happy, but we're also now having to redesign again. We've already, changes are happening fast in our world.
Yes.
And we're having to reconfigure the whole inside.
Well, that's good.
That is good.
I love changes. I mean, I love, it feels good when you change things.
Outside of the money, everything else is good. But the bank's like that, so that's good.
Yes. I do know that you're one of the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce.
That's correct. That is correct.
How long ago were you asked to belong to the Chamber of Commerce board of directors?
Asked for the first time or accepted?
Tell me both.
Well, Willie Paulk and I met. We were in Dublin-Lawrence County leadership together. That was probably 1991. She may not want me to tell that, but 1991, we were in the same class. And
like 24 years ago, 23?
Somewhere around there. It does not seem that long ago, but it was. But she at that time wanted me to be a part of the chamber. I told her that with my business starting, I needed to focus on that for a while. And then about 3 years ago, they called and asked if I would be that I'd been nominated again to be on the board, or had nominated to be on the board. And I told them 21 years later, I think I could do it, or 20 years later at that time. I think I can do it. So
but back then,
it was just too much.
I know. I know what you mean. But back then, you were just a regular chamber member.
Correct.
And then now you feel like you can be a part of the board of directors.
Absolutely.
Because I don't blame you. You have been so busy after all the things you're telling me. I mean, it's not easy to run a business. If you're not on top of your business, it's not going to go well.
That's true. Very true.
I know the Chamber of Commerce had a retreat recently.
We did.
I would love to know, what did you learn on that retreat?
Well, it was a great retreat. It was just like anything else. I went in thinking, oh no, how much time is this going to take? But we had a great speaker that came in, and we spent about a day and a half together. Unfortunately, I had to miss like the last 3 hours of it.
Was it here in Dublin?
It was here. It was at the Chambers with the McGrath Keene Center. We had it there. And all the board members were there. A few other people came also that were there. But it was excellent. He did an excellent job, probably better than what we were prepared for, at least myself was. But he he had a lot of fire about him and some excitement, and he started talking about ideas for the board, and we're really starting to just now take off with those and really try to make a difference. I think you'll see a big change in the way the chamber functions from this point forward.
Is there anything you can share with us, or we should just wait and see?
Well, one of the things I will share with you is that we right now have a business after hours or business with breakfast. I hope I did not completely mess that up. But,
business and breakfast.
And to be honest, those are two things, as long as I've been a member of the chamber, I've never attended either one of those. Why? Because having a young family and having a young business, I had a lot of things I had to handle, and when it was time for me to go home, I was on my way home. It was
time to go home.
And when it was time to wake up, I was on my way to work. Say bye to my family and go on my way to work. So I try to get to work early and then try to get home at a decent hour. So I would not go. And one of my excuses was that we were always having just a get-together, eating, kind of meet and greet, you know, or eat and greet, whichever one you want to call it. And I had family things I needed to do. I spent so much time at work that I did not want to take away that time from my family. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of the people who get together there do business in Dublin with each other and with new people, and it's an opportunity for them to meet new people or to keep their services fresh in front of their clients. Unfortunately, I don't have very many clients inside Lawrence County. Most of mine are outside of Lawrence County. But I have a lot of friends here, but I see them at other times. So I just decided never to attend. Well, after the retreat, that may change, because one of the things that the gentleman who was there to lead us through during the retreat talked about was turning business after hours into true business after hours, and have not just eating and getting together, but a program that talks about what's happening in politics, what's happening in the civic-wise, what's going on, what can be a difference. And I don't know that they've really done that before. I can't speak because I hadn't been.
I wonder if it's going to be something similar to the Rotary Club.
Well,
Well,
I'm not. I will be. We're going to speak at the Rotary Club in a few weeks.
Oh,
you know, yeah, they asked us to come
because
speak.
Because they always have a very interesting program.
Right.
They all meet and talk and eat, and there is a program.
Well, I was a member of the Exchange Club until probably right about the time I started my business. I had to stop doing that also. But the Exchange Club does the same thing. You eat for a little while and greet for a while, and then you have a program.
And then you have a program.
That's correct. And that's what I hope the business out after hours turns into, if it has not already turned into that.
Okay.
But I think that would really for me, if I saw the program, and let's say if it was going to talk about some of the political issues that are in the paper, you know, do we need 2 schools or do we not need 2 schools? You know, some of those type things, then I probably would go by there for a while and listen to what they're saying and then head home, you know. While everybody else is eating and greeting afterwards, I might go home.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to continue with this topic that is very interesting. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
At Morris Back, we're not just about building a better back. We're striving to build a better community. Because our future and the future of Dublin, its families, and the businesses we serve are all tied together. Morris Back. It pays to go blue.
We're back, and I'm here sitting with Ben Gay, and he is the CEO of Gayco Healthcare. And we're talking about a very interesting topic. It's the Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours.
That's correct.
That you guys have through your different meetings and have talked about maybe doing a little bit of change, maybe having some type of a program.
Correct.
So do you think that if that changes, you're going to have more people attending, or you're going to have less people, or how do you feel about that?
I don't think you'll have less. I think worst case scenario, you would have the same amount, because if there is no program right now and the people were showing up, the same people are going to show up.
Yeah, they're going to go anyway.
Correct. And as I said before, I understand why those people go. You know, if you're in the business of selling insurance, then you're going to go to meet new people or to get to talk with some of your clients that you may not see quite that often.
That you can,
So you're still going to go. But what it may bring is, let's imagine that they published that they were going to have a program, and the program was going to be, the people who are running for the Senate, and the discussion of, the two of them, Nunn versus Purdue. Let's talk about. Well, then I'm a lot more interested in that. So the chances are that I would show up to listen.
Attend.
So
yes.
I think you end up with more people than you have now. I don't think you end up with less, because you're still going to have the same time to say hello and to greet and to socialize.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have a program, and then they could decide, do we want to have the program at the beginning? So that we have people, for example, that would help me. Let's say if it started at 5:30 and the program was going to be for 30 minutes. Okay, I may run by from 5:30, and then at 6 o'clock when the program ends, instead of getting a refreshment and something to eat and mingling, I might say bye and go ahead and go home.
And eat at home.
Right, and eat at home. Whereas the others who are there greeting now would just go ahead and stay. So I think it's only a win.
It's a win-win situation,
Correct.
I think.
Correct.
I think it's a great idea.
There's a lot of, from our retreat, there's a lot of ideas floating around. There's also a lot of ideas before the retreat that were floating around, to make sure the chamber stood for something. We had one of our chamber members that really wants the chamber to get behind education. Not that it already is not,
right.
but just to make sure that they really push education and to figure. And when we think of education, a lot of times people think of college. Well, in this world, it's not just college.
Mm-hmm.
We need so many people that go into the technical jobs too.
Yes.
And in my opinion, there's a lot more need of that in the future. We're running out of brick masons.
That's right.
You get a good brick mason, and they probably could rule the roost in this area. But they don't think of that. Our big push is to go to college. What we need in a society, you need all segments. So we want more and more of that. So one of our members has talked about that, or one of our directors has talked about that. But there's many good ideas that come out of there, and making sure that the chamber stood for something. As a matter of fact, one of the things that stood out to me that has been recently used, not just with the chamber, but also with the Georgia Pharmacy Association, when I was talking to them, is if a candidate is supporting all candidates that are pro-chamber, if they're pro-chamber, support them. If they're not pro-chamber, then you don't have to support them. But really standing behind the people,
right.
Because you have to make a choice, and you're trying to make the best choice you can for business, and
right.
That's what the chamber is, for business.
That's right. Talking about that, how the chamber had helped your business?
Well, the chamber has really helped in my business and some of the things, I'll be honest, I did not take advantage of, because I was just too busy. But they've had a lot of lunch and learns that have been done,
yes.
Been very, very good for my HR person. And they're not taken advantage of like they should be. But there's a lot of other things that they provide that, because I've been in business for 21 years and was from this area for 45 years,
yeah.
I didn't need to be a part of it. I didn't feel like I needed to. But the chamber really can help you to know who to call if you have a problem, let's say with taxes, or if you're
That's
unsure
right.
about taxes. That's who you call. I've heard Willie say it before, that the development authority is the one who first meets an industry, woos them, and brings them in. And they've done a fabulous job. We've got a fabulous, economic development
yes.
group. Fabulous. But the chamber takes over once they're done, and a lot of people ask me, especially, we've got a large number of members, but probably not as many members as we should have. We shouldn't have to have a member drive. Every member should want to be a part. And people may say, why? What does it bring to me? Well, probably 80 to 90% of the businesses that are in Lawrence County need other people to be a part of Lawrence County.
Of course, yeah.
So let's follow that back to the root. Okay, if you've got a chamber that is helping others to bring business into this area, that means there's more clients for that potential business to have.
Absolutely.
So they're forgetting exactly what the chamber can do for them, and that's bring more business for them. Now it's up to them. Let's imagine insurance industry or the banks. They still have to compete against each other, but aren't they better off with more people in this city, in this county to compete? So therefore, the less people we have a part of the chamber as members, paying members, the less chance we have of getting more people, more businesses in this area.
That's right.
So if for no other reason, you need to be part of the chamber to help our community to grow, help it to
Yes.
grow. That's probably one of the main reasons I've always been a part of the chamber, is because our community needs us to rally behind what
Yeah.
we have here.
That's right. As a small business, I do know that you take, a small business owner, you take advantage of a program that we talk about at one point in one of my shows. And I would like for you to tell us what is that program that you have taken advantage.
That program is called the Now Account. And the Now Account is basically a financing tool. Now, it is a business to business. So it's got to be, and most of my expenses, or a large amount of my expenses, are bills to a business.
That's right.
I'm going to use an example, nursing facilities. They have residents who stay there, and during a certain stay, it's called Medicare Part A, which would require a long explanation, but the business at that time is paid by our government to take care of those people. And the business then has to buy their medication from me for that resident.
Right.
Well, that's business to business. So what it allows me to do is, if I have a slow-paying customer, and in this economic time, a lot of people have that.
Right.
They're going to pay, but they may be slow. And one thing
have your money.
you need it now. Cash flow is king.
Yeah, now.
Cash flow is king. And that's why it's the Now Account. But we also, suppose you're going to start business or to start an account with a new company, and you're unsure, will they pay you
If
or
they're
not?
gonna pay, yeah.
So what the Now Account does is you can sign up with them, and for a small fee. And when I say small fee, it's anywhere between 2.5% to 3%, depending on if they pay you 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And if they pay you in 30 days, it's 2.5% charge on your money. If it's in 60 days, it's a 2.75, and if it's in 90 days, it is 3%. So it's very, very low cost money. But once you sign up with this, basically they're buying your accounts receivable at that time.
Yeah.
So they send you 90% of your money at that time. So let's imagine that your bill is, let's make it easy math on myself, $10,000 for that business. Within maybe 10 days, probably less than that, you will get $9,000 from Now Account. Once you're approved, you have to get
Right.
approved as a business, and then the business you're dealing with has to be approved. So it's a two-step process. So once you've passed that, 90%, they send you a check. Then, about 30 days later, you get the other 7.5% or 7%, depending on which one of those it is, which are the percentage rates. And then the rest of it, they keep at that time.
Right.
At that time.
Right.
And if the business that you're dealing with never pays, you never owe that money. They've taken on the liability of that.
It's kind of an insurance.
It's an
credit.
insurance for a very small cost. So
Yeah.
if you're going in the way I look at it, when you go into business, let's use that
Especially for new accounts.
Correct.
you
If
know?
you've got a new account and it's $10,000,
Yeah.
my question would be someone that didn't want to use it. Of course, you have to be approved, and then your customer has to be approved. Your business, both businesses have to be approved. But I would ask anyone, why not do it for at least a few months till you see if they pay you? Because wouldn't you rather lose just $250 or $300
Yeah.
rather than $10,000.
Yes.
So
It's a risk.
It is a risk, but it is an excellent program that you can sign up for through the Chamber of Commerce. And the great thing about it is they also, as you help the Now account also helps the Chamber.
Yeah.
They help the Chamber. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. So if you're interested, Chamber of Commerce, they will help you. They will guide you how to get into the Now account. Well, we're going to take another short break. We'll be right back. My goodness, Ben is full of great information. We'll be right back.
La Quinta Inn and Suites is a proud member of the business community and the community at large. La Quinta is still #1, providing wonderful accommodations for residents and the professional community. Take advantage of La Quinta's large meeting room, business center, and all can enjoy a delicious breakfast while staying at La Quinta Inn and Suites of Dublin. Thank you to the business community and to everyone who wake up on the bright side. La Quinta Inn and Suites Managing Partner, Suresh Patel. Assistant General Manager, Dana Kinsler. Call La Quinta Inn and Suites at 272-3110 or log on to lq.com.
All right, we're back. And I'm sitting here once again with Ben Gay. And he is so much fun because he's full of information.
I might talk too much.
No. Actually, I like that because I talk too much too. In your opinion, why is important to belong to the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I have to look from my personal perspective. And I, like anyone else, when you write a check, you wonder what's the value of this check.
What is in here for me?
What's in it for me? And that's what you hear. Anytime you're trying to talk with someone about the Chamber, what's in it for me? And as I told you before, I don't really take it, or I did not take advantage of a lot of the programs. There's fabulous programs that your Chamber has, but most of the time we're busy and we don't take care of those. But the #1 reason that people need to be a part of the Chamber is if you want your community to grow, you need a strong Chamber of Commerce because it is the business of being in business. It's the people's business is what it is. And we need people to be a part of it because the more members we have, the stronger the Chamber can be, and therefore the more it can go out and recruit other members of the Chamber, which is AKA other people to live in this community, to have thriving businesses. And we all win then. Because I use the example, if we have 2,000 people that are in an area and there's a insurance and all they can handle is 2,000 people. If we go to 4,000 people, that means there's more room for another insurance person.
For another company.
So there's competition, and competition is not bad.
No, it's good.
But there also needs to be a level of helping your community to be better. And that's the main thing I think people need to be a part of the Chamber for.
That's right.
Is because you have to give back. If we don't give back to this community, the community will never grow.
That's right.
And that's up to us to do that.
Well, we need to get back to our community. Also, always buy local.
Correct.
Give a chance to our own business here locally. And thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, for being here with me today. It's been great knowing more about your business. And I promise you, I'm going to stop by one of these days and see your pharmacy.
That'll be fabulous.
Thank you. And for all of you out there, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, thanks.